CBN Middle East Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell has made several trips to Iraq. He's here to tell us more about the Christians there. Chris, what impact did ISIS have on the Christian community in Iraq?
Well, George, it was devastating. I have vivid memories of being there just after ISIS went into places like Mosul and Karakosh, talking to Christians who had just left their lives and livelihoods behind. They were given four choices sometimes. They could die, they could convert to Islam, they could stay and pay the jizya tax, or they could flee, which most of them did. And just a devastating time for many of those ancient Christian churches, ancient Christian communities that literally had to flee for their lives. And it devastated Iraq. Generally, in the last 15 years or so, they've gone to maybe 1.5 million Christians, about 250,000. ISIS had a big part in that.
And is that partly the reason why so many are obviously reluctant to return to their homes now?
Yeah, because part of the story, George, is back in, before ISIS hit, Al-Qaeda was driving many of those Christians away from places like Baghdad and in south of Iraq, and they went north. Many of them went to the Nineveh Plains, and then in 2014, ISIS came in with a vengeance. We were in churches, we were in monasteries, and ISIS were just such an anti-Christian demonic group that would devastate, destroy churches, burn churches, anything Christian they would try to destroy. That's why many people are reluctant to go back.
Yeah, talk to us about those who have decided to stay. I know that there have been efforts between Christians and Muslims to rebuild mosques as well as churches. Both faith groups are helping each other. But tell us about those who have decided to stay.
It's still very difficult for them, George. Some of the infrastructure that was destroyed by ISIS, it's going to take billions of dollars to replace. We were in a place called Karakosh. We saw the destruction of all those Christian homes and the infrastructure. There are bright signs, like you say, between Muslims and Christians, but it's very difficult for them to rebuild their lives after being such destruction and mayhem that they had to endure. And many have fled and may not ever come back.
Yeah, about a minute left, Chris. This visit by the Pope has to be very significant, not just for the pontiff, but also for the people of Iraq, right?
Definitely. I mean, there's a lot of hope and encouragement that his visit is going to bring. It is short, and whether or not it has a long-term effect remains to be seen. There is a quote from one Christian there. He said, the Pope can't help us, but only God can. And so ultimately, I think these believers, these brothers and sisters are going to be looking to the Lord, and that's why they need our support, prayers, and encouragement, after being so devastated by ISIS and other Islamic groups.
Yeah, my understanding is that the Pope is scheduled to meet not only with Christian leaders in Mosul, but he'll also be meeting with top Islamic leaders in Iraq. Chris, thank you so much for coming on the broadcast, buddy.
Thanks, George.